Hello everybody, happy Sunday. Hope you're having a lovely day. It's a little bit dreary where we are. Hopefully it's much nicer where you're waking up, or perhaps it's the middle of the night, wherever you happen to be. I'm Becky and I'm going to be with you the whole of today, but I'm not going to be on my own. I have the lovely Debbie Robinson over the other side.
Yay! Whoop, whoop, back again, nice and refreshed. I promised if you watched yesterday, please forgive. And I'm back to normal, resuming? Wait a minute, what's that word? See, this was the problem I had yesterday, getting the words out. But yeah, we've got a great day lined up. Really excited because I love Colour Me Happy, Becky. So I'm really, honestly, I'm just so excited I could crush a grape. You might remember that saying. Yeah, might remember that saying, some of you UK viewers. But I'm also, we've got Vintage Butterfly Masterclass coming up later on, Second Chance Sunday. Oh, there's so much. We've got some great deals. And it's going to be a really good, fun day. I know it is, because guess who's in me here, everybody? Guess who's in here? My TV upstairs, Mr. Ben Mosby. Whoop, 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 whoop. I was doing a fantastic job already, 2 minutes into the show. And of course, we've got our gorgeous Charlotte as well. We can't forget our lovely Charlotte, who also says hello. We need to get him to come in studio one day, booming voice out of a speaker, don't we? Yeah, absolutely. So I'm really looking forward to this, and I'm even more so because we don't get to work often together.
We don't. They keep us apart.
They do
lot.
for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, we don't know why. We do really secretly, don't we? They keep us way apart. But it's great to have you. Great to be here today, isn't it? If you've already been looking on the website, you will notice there is a fantastic code available for you. If you go to website, you spend more than £40, you can use the code SEPT5 and get £5 off your order. You can use this as many times as you like until around about 11:59 tonight, to be absolutely precise. So share it with your friends, message all your friends, say you've got this great code and get them to watch what's going on. And do message in, let us know what you're up to. Back in the UK, most children are going back to school on Monday, so everyone's delighted. I don't have children that go at school age anymore, so it's just like a normal day for me. But I do sympathise with all those people that are there, putting the names on everyone's school shoes and all those rubbish. I say that, or the argument about what, school uniforms are like that, you've got your blazer like that, or you've got a blazer that's far too big. So I do sympathise. Message in with any of your sort of questions that you've got today. We've got Debbie in here to show you all the different things about Colour Me Happy. So if you do have any questions, even if you're teetering on the cusp about what you want to buy, message in, we'll be able to give you some advice. Debbie, you've got some samples of what you're going to be doing today.
I have, yeah, because today's Colour Me Happy show is all about our alcohol markers, and it's the classics. And I love alcohol marker colouring. It's one of my favourite forms of colouring. Not only is it a mindful kind of a craft, but it's also a really easy, achievable to do when you've got the right pens, and these are absolutely the right pens. It's a system that you're buying into. We've got a starter kit that's coming up that Becky's going to go through with you in a moment, and lots of other things as well. We've got some lovely stamps and collections that are on the show, but I'm going to show you some of the kind of looks that you can be achieving. Now, our design team are fabulous, and you might not recognise some of these things because some of these are digi images, because we don't just say to the Spectrum Raw team, please just colour in our own images, when you've got so many that are out there. So you can see the kind of look that you can achieve with an alcohol pen. Absolutely beautiful. I'm going to show you a few more, Becky, because I want you to see.
Feel hungry.
Beautiful, vibrant. I know. Trust me to bring that one out. And a macaroon. Oh, I remember. Do you know I had this trouble yesterday. That came out quite Scottish. I did a London Cockney accent yesterday.
Excellent.
Honestly, just everything coming out of my mouth was all just...
I'd like a different accent for every demo that you do today, please.
Oh, no.
Message and let us know what accent you want Debbie to do.
Can I just tell you, Becky, it came out by accident, a lot of it. Posh voice came out at one point. I'm like, who uses a posh voice these days? Not me. I'm not posh. But honestly, our lovely design team have used some amazing products, including all of these gorgeous images that you might recognise some of these, some that you might not, but it's just to show you the kind of effects that you can do.
Wow,
this is a different form because it's been done onto a different cardstock, not just necessarily Nina cardstock. There's lots of different mediums that you can put your alcohol colouring markers down onto, because at the end of the day it's a permanent marker. Look at this one, Becky.
God, they're
Look at
totally
that.
different feels to them.
Honestly,
aren't they?
yeah. And then you've got, well, of course, you'll recognise this gorgeous lady because that's one of our stamps. But yeah, there's absolutely loads of things that you can do as well. Not just in terms of colouring, and we're going to show you how to do your shading and things like that, little tips that you might be able to do. But I'm going to show you that because it's a permanent marker, you can put it onto other things as well. It's not just necessarily colouring. There's things that you can colour match your ribbons and your gems. You can pop it onto like MDF, all sorts of different materials because it's a permanent marker. So it really is going to be one of those lovely, it's going to be a nice, do you know what I'm going to call this one? A nice little relaxed show that's going to lead us up, or it's going to build up towards the rest of the day because we've got it literally tons coming with a masterclass, and get ready for the Second Chance Sunday because I saw the things on the list and my eyes were like this. There were so many things on there. So it's going to be a really good day. So I'm going to have a nice, easy Sunday morning. I'm going to nice and relax and do a spot of colouring and some other things as well. So yeah, and do you know what? I'm going to ask our Jake. We'll try and find him. I know I've been pestering him all morning, Becky. He walked in at 10 o'clock. I've done nothing but shout, Jake, Jake, Jake. I'm going to show you how to re-ink because I talked about it being a system that you're buying into.
Yeah.
What I'm going to get him to do is grab me some of the re-inkers and I'm going to show you how to re-ink your marker, how to do that as well. Because once you've bought the classic system, the colouring pen, it is something that's going to last you forever because it's not something you have to keep replacing. Once one's run out, you don't have to think, oh, I've got to go and buy another pack or another pen, because you can buy them individually. You just need to head over to the website. But we've got some amazing deals on that Becky is going to go through with you right now.
We do, absolutely. I'm looking forward to that because I have some of those pens as well, and I assumed that once they'd run out, I'd have to buy another one. So I like the idea of being able to ink with those. Now, we do have this starter pack, which is just in front of me. You've got loads of bits and pieces in here. If you're just sort of getting interested in colouring, you're not entirely sure what you need, everything you're going to be getting in here is going to help you get started. So you're going to get 24 pens. So you've got the floral pack and you've got the nature pack. You've got 2 stamps. You've got the wonderful friend, and you've also got a little fairy dust stamp. You've got one of the Spectrum Noir alcohol-proof ink pads in Flagstone, and then you also have some of your Nina cards. So everything you need to get started with that. This is a great price, £35 or $45. And you're going to be getting it kind of results a bit like this. So this is an example of the stamp that you can see and how that looks. Really, really stunning. This is really pretty, and there's plenty of space in there for you to really go to town with doing those colouring. Then you've got your little fairy here, so sparkling of fairy dust. So you've got your stamps in there with those little sentiments, as well as that beautiful fairy where you can really practice sort of your skin tones in there. Debbie's going to do this one first of all with her first demonstration. This is a floral butterfly. So we're going to go over to Debbie. If you're ready, Debbie?
I am, well, I'm actually going to use the other one. I've got the wonderful friend because there's 2 in the collection, and I know that you normally expect me to do a butterfly, but I thought I'm going to throw you off kilter a little bit. I'm going to change it up a little bit, but I am going to talk about the pens first and what is an alcohol marker. Now, the ones that are coming in your starter bundle, I'm going to show you exactly what you're getting because these colours are just beautiful. I'm just going to try and lay them in there. I will tell you as well that we have got a lovely storage system in place in terms of trays as well. But what I want to show you is the colours that you're getting. So you're getting the floral and the nature, 12 pens, dual tipped, and it's a permanent marker. At the end of the day, this is a permanent marker. These are the ones that I think are, they're the best quality, artist quality alcohol markers for me personally that I've ever used, and I know that a lot of people have already got them. Will tell you the same. We have worldwide artists, Becky, all over the world. As you know, with some of the collections that we've brought out, we've had real top of their game artists that work with our products, and these really are beautiful, and we've tried to give you a nice mix of like a nature kind of colour along with the florals that work beautifully with those 2 stamps, and also the right paper, because it's all about getting to know your classic marker, knowing about the system. Oh, I've just seen Jake. Oh, I need to give him a little shout. Jake, just so you're aware that I need hold of some re-inkers, please. Thank you very much. Okay, I told you it'd be sick of hearing me by the end of the day, really will, because I've got to pester him
Or by
later on
11:30.
as well. But yeah, so you've got 24 colours to be getting started with. There is a little as well. I will just talk to you as well. Just let me move those to one side. Inside your pens in your starter kit, in any of the pens actually, whether you're going for the smaller bundles, single packs, you will get a little instruction leaflet. Talks about other things that we've got in our collections, but it talks about the markers, and when I turn it over it's like a little booklet form talking about how you get used to your markers. And I'm just going to bring in one for a second to show you the difference that these markers are to any that are other that you might see with other I'm going to say competitors, but other craft companies. Thank you, Becky. Yeah. So it's a dual tipped, it's a lovely ergonomical shape. So it's a really nice barrel that sits firmly into your fingers that doesn't cause pain. And I've talked about it so many times, but I do suffer with carpal tunnel, and I can hold my pen quite comfortably without it giving me any issues.
That's
but
good
it is
to know,
dual
because
tipped.
lots of people do have problems like that. You know, that's been thought about.
Yeah, and it has been thought about in terms of the shape as well, because once it's down flat, it's not going to roll. Do you know, like you get some that are like a rounded barrel, some that just float, they like literally roll off. Not with these, because it's got that lovely hexagon shape, shall we call it? What kind of barrel is that? Wait a minute, how many sides is that? Quite a lot. 1, 2, 3, I can't count at this time of morning.
Angled.
Yeah, like that. That's the good one. So it's not going to roll anywhere. And then it talks about as well your fine bullet tib and your chisel one. And I'll just bring in a scrap of paper just to show you what I mean, so that you can see on the fine end, you've got this lovely precise, a little bit more of precision nib, but then your chisel nib, obviously with a chisel nib, it means that you can lay down quite a bit of colour, but you can also, because literally this is the one that you would use when you want to do things like your ribbons and your gems, which you want to discuss later on. But yeah, it talks about this. Now, I will show you, Jake has fetched me some re-inkers, bless his little heart, so I will show you later on how to use this to refill once your ink is in there. Has gone, because they will, if you use them a lot, you will need the re-inkers, and the re-inkers look like this, and each one of the pens has got its own bottle of the re-inkers. And if you caught the show with our Michelle not so long ago, showed you some lovely little techniques that you can do with it as well. Right, so that's your pen. That's the pen, Becky. Nice and easy.
Perfect.
Nice little introduction into it. And then it talks about the spectrum or colouring system. You're getting 24 pens. But they are, now initially they were 216, but we've brought out some extra ones, the hint of classiques, or as I call them the hint of the tints, or the tints of the hints. I give them all the time, Becky, all the time. He's saying it's not like you, Debbie, to give the products another name. Yes, it is. But yeah, hit the hint of as well. So they're the lighter shades that will work. So I think in total, I want to say there's about 244
That's
now,
a lot, isn't it?
possibly maybe more. But you've got 24 to get yourself started with. And if you're going on to Shop the Day, you'll see all the other bundles, but Becky's going to go through all of those with you later on as well. So it talks about the system. Now the pen itself, not only is it named, so I'm going to use this one again because I've got it here. This is the cherry red. So each individual pen has got a different colour name to it. And then it talks about this, on here, sorry, it talks about, the pen doesn't talk at all, Debbie, you're talking. I told you it's going to be one of them days.
These special magical pens which talk back to you.
It's got DR3. So from the dark red family, it's the shade number 3 that you've got in there.
Oh, right.
Okay, so that's how you're going to get started. Now, in here, you've got a mixture of different colours. So there's some that will work together and there's some that won't, but that's fine because we're giving you a little starter into the world of alcohol colouring. But if you look here, when we're talking about the shades, this is exactly what the spectrum colouring system is all about. Born from an idea of our lovely Leanne, going back many a moon now, and she won't mind me saying that, but quite a while ago, wanted a pen system that worked really easily. It's developed over the years. We've changed, you know, the different designs and things like that. But now we're really happy with what we've got at the moment, which is this one. And like I said, it's a system you're buying into because this pen is going to last you forever. Now, I will just go and open it up a little bit more because when I talked about those 216 colours initially, that is all the colours. This is how I used all of mine to get all of mine because I didn't get them all in one go, Becky. I bought them sometimes in a pack that were on offer in store or maybe online, and then individuals when I needed the missing ones, and I just used to cross off because my system at home does look like this. I put them all in colour order. I put them all in shade order because I'm a bit weird like that. But I'm not really, because I think there's many people out there that would say the same.
I think you're absolutely right. It looks a little bit like a periodic table down there.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah.
At least if you've got them all organised in the trays like that, you know exactly where they all are.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and that's the thing. It's about making the system work for you. This might be the first time you're starting with an alcohol pen with this starter bundle, which is absolutely fine. But once you've used them, I can promise you, you will absolutely fall in love with them, and you will start to build up your collection so that in end, and I mean now we should have the updated version because this is just 216, but there is more. There is more. Now, I will talk about the essentials, tips and tricks, because we like to talk about these. Right paper. Well, funnily enough, in the starter bundle, we've chosen the right paper because we've popped in there for you some Ben, watch why you're saying it in me because I'm going to repeat what you're saying. Nina. If only you could hear what's going up in my ear right now. Nina cardstock, which is super smooth and it's perfect for alcohol colouring, which is why we've popped it into there. But you can use other things onto Nina cardstock as well. It's just that this is the premium quality paper, or cardstock we're going to call it, because it has got a GSM to it, and we've popped that in there for you. Talking about working on other surfaces, because I did tell you that this is a permanent ink and it can be used on your own decor pieces like wood, like plastic, like metal, like glass, ribbon, fabric, and so on and so on. Because you asked me that earlier, didn't you, Becky, about yeah, of course you can put them onto fabric. Absolutely.
Okay.
Using the refill, we'll come on to that later on. Using with other inks as well. So we're talking about making sure that we're giving you the right ink pad to stamp with.
Yep.
And funnily enough, we've got that in the starter bundle as well. We're covering everything here for you. And then shading with just one colour. Now, I've often talked about this, shading with one colour. You know how much I love tri-blends, Becky, because I'm always talking about tri-blends.
Yep.
Literally talk about them all the time. However, you can get effects with one colour. Because you've got slight transparency to an alcohol marker, you can go in, and I'll do it with my chisel one to show you what I mean. But when you lay down your colour, when you go over, and I'm going to do it from the bottom part so that you can see it a little bit better, you can build up that colour so that when the alcohol content of the pen dries out, you'll see that you can actually get some shading through one colour. So you can start with one because it is slightly see-through, and you can start to build up. So you can layer up more colour down onto the bottom. It's always best to work with wet ink as well, so not letting it dry and then trying to do that. But I don't know if you can see starting now when and I'm not deliberately going over this top bit, but you can see you can start to build up, and because it's a dye-based colour, you can literally get the darker layers and you can layer down, so you can do it with one as well. We have, of course, got the full family, and we've got lots of pens on offer today. So if you was talking about shading like we do with the tri-blend, in the classic version, you'll be looking for your DR1, your DR2, your DR4, because you've got the 3 already. That's the kind of thing that you can be doing. But because it's a starter kit, we wanted to show you that you can achieve those looks with the one pen itself. And that's really important so that you know that. And then we talk about shading with 2, mixing colours together, which I'm going to do by just popping a little bit of grey or black underneath and then popping that onto the top to create a different tone or shade. We talk about those things. And then getting your smooth finish as well. So literally there's a nice little starter guide in there, let alone the tuition. And let me tell you, when we talk about tuition, you couldn't ask for a finer tutors than the people that work with them all the time. Leanne, Sarah, myself, Craig, I'm going to list us all, Jan, Debbie, Michelle, all of us that work here that love working with them. Honestly, we've got hours and hours and hours of tutorial. I'm going to cover as much as I can in this first show, in this Colour Me Happy show, but rest assured, we're not just giving you the system or the starter kit and then go, off you go. We've got tuition. We've got lots and lots of tuition, which is what hopefully we'll get through today in this show. So, shall I stop talking for a second? Yeah. Shall I get on to doing a little bit of, shall I get on to doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Sorry, Ben. Sorry, it's just because we do get new customers all the time as well, and new viewers, and ask the questions if you're new. You can ask away. If I can answer, I'll give you my honest answer. If I can't answer, I'll find out for you. I am never going to lie to you. I promise you that one thing. Yeah, I will not do that. I'll give you an honest answer. But ask away. You've got us for 2 hours.
I've got a question already.
Have you really?
I have, yeah. Anne says, can only the classic markers be re-inked?
Yes. Refilled, you mean?
Refilled.
Yes.
Only the classic ones.
Because I've talked before, I think I made a faux pas the other week about the illustrators. Of course, it's a little bit trickier because there's a Japanese brush nib. To be fair, this is a Japanese nib as well, and the material that it's like I said, a high quality, beautiful artist quality pens. But yes, the classics are the ones that you can refill.
Right.
And I will show you that throughout this.
Fabulous.
Well, I said 2 hours, but it's less than that now because I've been rabbiting on a little bit. Shall we move swiftly along? So I'm going to use the stamp from the starter kit, Becky. I've got some of the Nina cardstock. I'm going to use the flagstone, actually. I'm just going to bring in, though, a stamping platform. Do we have a stamping platform in the starter bundle?
We don't.
Oh,
no.
what a shame. But do you know what? We've got plenty. Yeah, exactly. We've got plenty on the web. So just go the website. Yeah. Website, yes.
Say that.
It's all right, it's on the web. Go over to www.crafterscompanion.co.uk or wherever you are in the world, change that up. Is it different for the US? Is it a different website? Or is it a generic one? Oh, thank you very much. She's such a good... Where is it, Charlotte, did you say?
On the left. Bottom left.
Bottom left?
No,
Why can't
corner.
I see it? Under there? Oh, silly old me. I've never seen that before. Is it really, Ben? Oh my days, why have I never seen that before? I have never ever seen that before. Mind you, I do say, I mean, I'm going to have to take these glasses off and put my other ones back on because I can't see a thing with them. Let me get my regulars
We've got
on.
the same glasses, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got the same glasses, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we have, yeah.
Exactly the same.
I can see better now, but trouble is I'm getting a bit hot already and it's not even warm outside, but I've got a little bit hot and steamy and my glasses keep steaming up for some reason. Oh, excuse me. Oh!
I think it's going to be one of those days.
And I did say I was going to behave myself today. Oh dear.
Can I ask another question?
You
this
can
is one
indeed.
of my questions. If you've already got the stamping platform and you've lost your magnets, can you buy separate magnets?
Oh, do you know, that's a really good question because I've been asked that before myself. And I can honestly say, I don't know, I don't think you can.
Oh, okay.
I thought at the beginning we could, but I've since found out that they're not on the website. And I know our gorgeous Ben is... I'm going to say fairly new to producing, but he's done a few now. He's got a few under his belt. He could possibly just tap in magnets and see if we have got some spare ones.
Thank you.
Yes, so do you know the little top tip there that we're going to do, and we'll talk about Debbie as well because it's Debbie that does this a lot. If you haven't got the magnets, just take some stick and spray, use the repositional, pop that underneath your paper and then stamp on so it doesn't move, so you know that when you keep re-inking over the top and over the top like you do sometimes.
See, that's what I had to do at the weekend.
Have you lost your magnets?
I've lost my magnets.
Yeah.
So I just use a bit of the spray that I use for fabric, actually, repositional spray, because I was making a pickle card.
A pickle card?
Yeah, my daughter went to a pickle party. A pickle party.
A pickle party? Is that such a thing?
It's exactly what it sounds like. So they're all in their 20s. They're all quite obsessed with pickles. And
Can I just check that?
Yeah.
Pickled gherkin, pickled egg, pickled...
No, like pickled gherkins, like
pickles.
Pickles. And so one of the girls had a birthday party and she'd had a pickle party. So everything was pickle themed. I had to make a pickle card, which they liked so much they framed. But I know, totally random. So if you're looking for a theme for a party, go for pickles. Apparently everyone loves a pickle.
Party, I've heard it all. Pickle means something, I mean, I know what pickle is, but a pickle is something else in our language, over where we are. You get in a pickle. I get in a pickle all the time. I've never heard of a pickle.
Pickle party.
I've never heard of a pickle party. I could do one of them myself. Now, I'm just going to show you. I just wanted to show you this, where I've popped that down, the ink, but I'm going to do and I know you think I'm mad, I am going to stamp another one out in a second. In fact, I've got one re-stamped, but I wanted to show you, Becky, and I do this with the water one as well, because it is alcohol proof. Can you see nothing smeared?
Yeah.
It's the, do you know when I go over this, and I'm really going at it, it ain't moving. It is the best alcohol proof dye ink that I've ever used, and I absolutely mean this. I have got so confused with inks in the past, which is why we've popped that in there for you. Gives you the little indication of a pen on the front, so that you know that it's the perfect one to use. Now, I know you're probably thinking, God and Bennett, now what are you going to do with that, Debbie? Well, I'm not going to do anything with it, Becky. It was just for the purposes of showing you why we've popped in the right ink pad, the right paper with the alcohol markers. So excuse me for just doing that, because again, it's just to show you why we've put this bundle together for you. We've taken all that hard work out for you. So I do have another stamped image here, and I actually stamped this in my black rather than my flagstone. There are 4 colours in the Finesse alcohol proof, as they are with the waterproof one, but whenever you're using an alcohol marker, please make sure it's the right ink. Please believe me, it'll make a difference. If you popped and stamped that with the other one and then went over it, it will run, it'll smear, because it's not the right ink. So this flagstone we've put in the starter kit, but there is noir black, rustic brown and pebble. So they're the 4 colours that you've got. Now, the other important thing is, and I'll bring back in my little scrap again, is to make sure that if you're using it onto a, now let's get this right, non-porous?
Yep.
This is a non-porous surface, it's a glass mat. Hard. So when you colour, now any nature of any pen will bleed through the cardstock. I've had this time and time and time again. It doesn't matter whether you're using a Spectrum Raw, whether you're using the other alcohol markers that are out on the market, every single alcohol pen will seep through, they'll bleed through. It's the nature of the pen. So for that terms, when you're using an alcohol pen and you're colouring, don't directly colour onto it, because what happens there is when it has seeped through, depends on how much you're colouring, it's usually with the bigger pieces, I won't lie to you, a smaller piece you probably get away with, but a bigger piece would kind of pull back onto the surface there and then come back up and bleed. Right. And then you're going to think, well, then markers are rubbish. But it's not. It's just the fact of you've not put a little bit of blotting paper. That's all it needs to be. A bit of scrap. It could be a bit of copier paper. It doesn't have to be anything expensive. I've got a bit of Neonacard under here, and that's the right waste. Let me just tell you. Don't be doing that. Save your Neonacard for the right thing. Now I'm going to bring in some colours. So I've got all my colours here to one side. I just want to make sure, because I have actually wrote down my colours today, Becky, of the things that I've used. So we're going to go in with LV2. And look, in this floral, we have got 2 of the same colour family. So lavender and orchid, LV1, LV2, are from the lavender family in the 2 shades. So we're going to get a nice little blend with that one. I'm going to use PP3. Now, did I have that out? Yeah, there it is. That's the pale... Getting my peas mixed up there. There's too many peas. Peas and pickles. Becky, what are we doing to Ben, poor lad? PP3 pink tint. So it's the lightest, well, I'm sorry, one of the lightest of the pink ranges there. I can hear you laughing. I can hear you laughing. You behave yourself.
It's terrible.
It's
tickling in your ear.
You keep on, Ben, you keep on. I'm loving it. It's just, I knew it was going to be a weird day today when you're not by my side, but you're in my ear and in my head. Oh, you are always in my head. And can we just say, huge congratulations to our lovely Ben, because it's been his 2nd year anniversary, for those of you don't know. He's just celebrated 2 years with us, Becky.
Yeah, and he said he's going to buy us all cake today to celebrate.
Is that what he said? Oh, he's such a sweetheart.
I know.
Ain't it? The trouble is, mine have to be diet-free or calorie-free, so... Yeah, because I'm back on my plan, Ben. I'm back on my plan. Now, I'm using all of these colours from the starter kit. So I've got a grey, brown grey, alpine green. Oh, it does say fruit pink. I thought that said something else then. This light shining down, I thought it said something else. Fruit pink, pink tint, orchid and lavender. Right, so let's go a little bit of colouring, shall we? Now then, let's have a little look. We'll start with a flower. And we'll start with the 2 pinks, which... and. Again, from the same family, PP5, PP3, there's just a shade missing in between. But it does mean that you're going to get a nice slow when it comes to blending. Are you giggling away over there, Becky? I can see you giggling over there. What are you giggling over there, Becky?
Oh, I'm just always happy. That's what it is.
Oh, bless you. Now, I'm going to start down, and it's a lovely little stamp set, this, Becky. These 2 stamps that we put in the starter kit, they're not, what's the word? Overpowering, overwhelming.
Yeah.
Colouring. I don't want you to be overwhelmed with colouring. I remember the first time I started alcohol colouring, I thought I was good. I really weren't. I didn't know anything about it. I just used to colour.
I'm sure.
Because I love colouring. I don't know about yourself, Becky, but do you know when I was younger? Oh, my days, it was my favourite thing.
Me too.
Always colouring. My mum knew I weren't an expensive child. Oh, that sounds wrong. To buy for, I didn't cost her a lot of pennies. Pennies were tight back then as well, a little bit like they are just at the minute. Yeah, I wasn't one that she had to go and get expensive presents for, because I would have been happy with, do you know your felt tips that you used to be able to get in the big packs? The bigger the better for me though. I did love a little wealth of colour. And sit me in front of that and I'd colour for hours. Absolutely colour for hours and hours, and did right up until my teens, to be fair. But yes, so give me anything to do with colouring. And now obviously moved on from felt tips. Who wants a felt tip when you've got quality artist quality pens like these?
Well, it's so therapeutic, isn't it? I remember I used to do a lot of amateur dramatics, and we would always in our dressing room we would always have colouring pens and a colouring book. Because if everyone was getting nervous leading up to going up on a performance, they would just do a little bit of colouring, and that sort of sorted everybody out, calmed them down. And it is now such a relaxing thing. You get those great colouring books for sort of mindfulness colouring in and all that kind of thing. And it is a really, you can lose yourself in it, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely you can. Now, I've gone in with my lightest pink, and I've saturated the area. You could leave some highlight, preserved highlight, in terms of leaving a little bit of white, which we'll come to with other things that I've got lined up in this next hour and a half. But what I've done is I've saturated with the light one, and obviously the PP3 is the darker one, PP5, sorry, is the darker one. So I'm just going to go in with a little bit just down the edging where I think a little bit of the shading would be. And again, I'm going to do exactly the same, but I'm not going... The lovely thing about these is that we don't have to worry too much about this. We can have a little practice, you can have a little play. That's what it's all about, the starter kit. It's giving you the ability to have a little play and have a little dabble into the world of colour. We've got lots of other things in terms of the Academy of Colour and the tuition and things like that you can move on to. But what we're trying to show you is with the starter kit, you can just get started. And I've gone back in with a lighter shade because I want to get a bit of a blend. I'm not going over the darker area, so while my ink's still wet, I can go back in. But I'm not going, if you've noticed, I'm not taking this and going right up to the very end, because there's more, and when in terms of the alcohol content that we talk about, it's the same ink colour, but it's just been, not watered down, but the alcohol content's more in the lighter. Right. Less in the darker, more in the lighter. Okay. Which is why you wouldn't go over the top, because if you go over the top, and if I just show you a nice visible, let me just show you, pop this down. If I go over the top, with this, can you see what happens, Becky? It bleeds out. I'll do it again in the dark. I'll do a little bit more surface. I'll cover a little bit more surface area.
Because you'd assume that would just make it darker, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but look, absolutely going in. Yeah. That will lift up, and can you see? Because there's a little bit more alcohol content in that, it's lifting it, so it's bleaching it out. Okay. So when you're blending, be careful not to literally go in and go over. It's just to tickle the end of it. That's the best way to describe it. Tickle the end of it, and then we're going to go in and just carry on until we get the desired look that we want. And I only work in small areas to start with. Even though it's a small image, I only work in a small area at a time. And you can, I know Craig loves to do the circular motion. You can absolutely do the circular motion, but you can also, we do a little bit of cross-hatching. Yep. Cross-hatching, is that the right word? Yeah. So you can go down and across, but circular motions work just as fine. And then again, I'm just going to put a little bit of shaded where I think it would be. So definitely under the petal part of it. Again, a little bit more down there, a bit more definition. Same inside the rose. And again, I'm just going to go in, and then I'm going to just bring this up a little bit more.
And while you're doing it, you're keeping the pen lids off, and that's not going to make them suddenly, you're not going to find that they suddenly dry out.
I had somebody twitching yesterday, God love him, because I was playing with the tri-blends. Yeah. And she said, I was making her nervous because I kept the tops off. I always put them back on afterwards. But when I'm colouring, and I'm colouring like a set image, I keep them off because I'm forever picking up and then starting. So rather than top on, top off, top on,
And
top
it's
off.
going to take a while
Yeah.
for them to dry out anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, they're not going to dry out, no. I promise you won't dry out. That didn't sound right, did it, Ben? I could hear you sniggering then. I thought I've said something silly. But it's true. You don't want to keep popping your top on and off all the time.
No.
Because it would get annoying. It'd get right annoying.
It's a pain.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Don't want that. Now, can you see I've gone out a little bit? I'm going to tell you, I don't know if it's in one of the kits, but there's a blender pen.
Right.
Don't know why it's called blender, because it should be called a razor. So I'm going to show you. I've gone out a little bit, Becky. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to push over the edge where I went out. So I'm not going into that image. I'm just pushing it through. And what it does is it pushes the colour through onto the other side. So my mistake goes onto the other side, and it just vanishes just like that.
That's clever.
And is it? So when you're going in, if I just took up a little bit of a dots down there, I know it's a bit dry now, so it might not. I might do it, but might be better to do it on my wet one. And then going in again.
Oh, yes.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
It's lifting it. It's a blender pen, but it's an eraser. That's
Yeah.
what we call it, because it's pure. Now, when I say alcohol, I don't want you thinking it's full of gin
vodka.
or tonic or anything like that. I'm just meaning it's full of the alcohol ink, which you can again buy in a re-inker. I know that sounds daft, but there's a re-inker out there that is just the blender. And just go and look on the website. If you don't believe me, go and have a little look on the website, because it's on there for you, for your blender pen. But again, literally, it is. I wish it was called a razor. We said this to Leanne before, and I know Leanne wants to call it an eraser as well, because that's what it does. It erases colour, it lifts colour, but it helps you when you've made your mistakes. And that's one thing I used to pride myself on, Becky, not going out of the lines when I was colouring when I was a little girl.
But it's
however,
difficult to do it now, because you've got to keep everything just a little bit further away from you. You probably would do naturally. When you're doing that.
Yeah, exactly that. Now, what I am going to do, because I finished with my little pink pen, and I'm quite happy with that. I could go in, like I said, if I wanted to, and add a little bit more darker shade, if you want to, and just while it's still wet. Well, it's still the wet ink, but again, just popping that in. I'm quite happy with that, actually. There we go. And then a little bit just underneath there. And I'm quite happy with that, because it just defines it. It gives it a bit more shape, a little bit more 3D feel to it. Is that the right word? 3D feel?
Yeah.
Can you see now with these?
Far
now the
more
alcohol
realistic.
content's drying out.
Yeah.
Now, we're also going to do a little bit of, let me get this right, where have we gone? Well, yeah, we'll pop a little bit of the brown grey down. In fact, is that the number 8? Have I got a lighter tone? Let's go in with a lighter one. So I'm going to take that one. I'll go in with a light one with this one. Because what you can actually do is you can pop a little bit of the light colour down, and then you can go back in with your colour to get a different tone. I'll use this same colour, Becky, to show you what I mean, but you can go in and we've got a different coloured shade there by just adding a little bit of grey underneath. And if I just take that over, can you see the difference between the two?
Yeah.
With you adding a little bit of grey underneath, it gives you a little bit more tone, a little bit more shading. So you can do that, and you can see that a little bit more visibly now. And again, when the alcohol content dries out, you'll see the difference between the two. So again, using your greys, and in your starter kit, you have actually got two choices there. You've got the brown grey 8, and you've got the brown grey 5. I've gone with the lightest, and if we go in with that darker one, let's have a look. So you can show it's quite, oh gosh, that is very dark, isn't it? That's a very nice, it's almost verging on black, I would say, that one. Really nice dark tone. But where's my pen gone again? Let's go back in with that red. And if you go back over, can you see? By adding the grey underneath, you've got more shade, and it gives you a more different tone. So have a play, get to know your markers and have a good old play with them, because they really are a lot of fun to use. And I'll do one of my petals. I'll go in with my lighter grey.
That's really good to know, because I would have been of the opinion I need to buy every single pen in order to do any kind of work. But you can certainly get by what we put in that starter pack, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And that, that's the lovely thing about this starter kit. The colours have been chosen wisely by the team that put it together. And if I go over the edge there, I've not used anything other than the lavender one, which is the lightest of the tone. But because I've added the grey underneath there, it just adds that little touch of tone and shading to it without me having to do much effort to it. And if I just go in with the light one now, I'll just go just the light one there. So I'm going to just show you, and again I'll do a little bit of a preserved highlight on one of my leaves as well, so you can have a little peek, because we've got a lot of time, and my gorgeous producer just said I'm quite willing to let you go ahead and carry on, bless his little heart, because I want to show you all these things that you can do. This is what a Colour Me Happy show is all about. It's showing you the different things that you can do with your alcohol pens, and I'm going to show you some of the little tips that you can do in terms of, with it being a permanent marker, at the end of the day, that's exactly what it is. You can go in with a permanent marker and you can colour match. So because I've got this beautiful pink, if I wanted a matching ribbon that was in this gorgeous pink, I could take a white ribbon or lace or anything like that, and I could colour match it with the colour so it all ties in.
Clever.
So which is what's lovely about this, again, this starter kit. The same with buttons or gems or sequins. You can colour sequins in. You can colour anything in. It really is a fabulous kit. Well thought out by our lovely team. It really is. Now, I've got a top off. Hang on a minute. Is that the right one? Yes, Debbie, make sure. Now, a little bit of the colour with the green. So we've gone in with the, and I'll go with the lighter green here, but we'll talk about, again, when, you know, I said at the very beginning, you can build up your shade.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to do a couple of little bits. I'm going to preserve a little bit of highlight on the tip, and then I'm going to go back in and create my own shade with just the one green. And again, exactly the same with the grey. You could do exactly the same with the grey again. So I'm just going to pop down a little bit of the colour, preserve a little bit of the highlight. We'll go back into it a second. I could colour forever, Becky. This is the problem when they put me on a Colour Me Happy show. I could spend 2 hours just colouring one project if I wanted to. But no, you can't. Did you hear, Ben? No, you can't. But no, we won't, Ben, I promise. I promise I'll be good. And we will get through the whole of my demos like I promised, because, yeah, that's what it's all about. But it's about showing you some little hints and little tips as well.
And that's really good to get those techniques, because otherwise, you know, you might use the pens in a totally different way and not actually get the full extent of what you're able to produce. So it's good to have these.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to go in with a bit of the grey again, and we're going to go back in and darken up some of the leaves. So it's the same colour, same green, but we'll get different looks. I think I already started with cake in my ear. I can hear some rattling. I thought he got cake in there. Did you hear him, Becky?
Yeah,
he's going, nope, no time for cake. I'm being really busy.
Yeah.
I've got a very, very important job to do today. Oh, it's so lovely to have you there.
My daughter went out the other day and she brought me back a cupcake and bought herself a cupcake, and I ate mine, and the other one was like looking at me. And she said, oh, I'll share it with you, just take half. And she hasn't eaten the other half. The other bit's gone stale. I just think
oh, no, what a waste.
There's like an empty space in my tummy where that half cupcake is exactly filled. And I definitely need cake today. Definitely. It's one of those days. But there's no probably about it, Ben. We would love you to go and buy cake.
No, I'm not eating cake, Becky. You can have it, but I'm not eating it. I'm being really good.
I'll eat it for you and tell you what it tastes like.
Well, yeah. Well, actually, I could do what I did with Joe yesterday. I sniffed Joe's chocolate bar, because he was eating a chocolate bar. And I said to him, let me have a sniff, because it works. It works for me. It's like a bit of, do you know where they say you trick your mind?
Yes.
So although I didn't have it, it didn't matter, because I smelt Joe's chocolate. I let me have a little whiff of it, a sniff of his whiff, a sniff of his chocolate. I know what I meant. Now look how lovely that's looking. Now the alcohol content, when it dries, so the alcohol part of the pen, when it dries, you get more seamless finish as well. So a lovely nice bit of control blending, but really easy to achieve. And like I said, it's a really nice stamp. Should we do a bit of fussy cutting? In fact, yeah, we will. Let me just, it's enough time for you, Producer Ben. Yeah, absolutely enough time for me. Bless his little heart. Thinking of me as well. Did you hear him, Becky?
I did.
Did you hear him?
I did. Betty says, I love when Debbie is on. I learn so much. She's an awesome instructor. Lots of people have been messaging in to say hello, and I haven't got round to them, so I'm sorry. So Lynn Harvey, hi Becky, Debbie, the CTV team, the wonderful social superstar, and everyone. I hope you're all well and having a good day so far. Bethan says, good morning, Debbie, Becky, CTV crew, and everyone watching. Jill says, hi from North Yorkshire. Sylv says, morning all from cloudy London. And Bethan says, the Yodel lady just bought my magazine. Congratulations.
Yay!
That's what we like to hear.
It is, and we still have some of them. Is it some? I'm assuming, Bethan, is that the latest magazine?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, absolutely. We've still got some left, and we will probably be discussing that a little bit later on today.
I haven't had a chance to have a proper look at it yet. I had a quick
it's
flick through.
It's honestly, it's fabulous. It is fabulous, the new magazine.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's
got
really
a gorgeous
popular,
craft kit in there, Becky. Have you seen it?
Got a gorgeous what in there?
Craft kit.
Craft kit. Oh,
yeah,
no,
craft kit. Yeah, yeah. It is. It's lovely. It's really lovely.
Look in a minute.
It's a fabulous magazine anyway, full of inspiration. It really is. And I might have a demo or two later on. A Second Chance Sunday, yes, Ben, yeah. Yeah, only because I did a lot of work for me shows that I did at Hobby Maker, and it was so busy, the show, I never got to use any of my demos. So I thought, you know what? We've got it on later today.
Why not?
I thought, you know what? I'm going to save it for Sunday. Now, I'm just fussy cutting around my image. Of course, if you've got dies and stamps like we have with the gorgeous animals, those beautiful illustrated animals that we've got, you don't have to do the fussy cutting because you can just use the die to cut around it. But with I'd say a manual stamp, you know what I mean, Becky? With an acrylic stamp, you just can do this look just by taking your little snippy scissors and going around there. And if you've noticed, I'm turning the paper rather than the scissors. Yep. Makes a neater cut. Something that I used to struggle with still, but I don't think I do a bad job now. Yeah, I think I do all right. Yeah, not too bad, Ben. Not too bad. Do you know what is he like? But again, just fussy cut that out. You can, of course, add, and I know our Craig loves that technique, where you take one of your light colours. If you've gone from some of the other shades that we've got on the show, you can emphasise around the edge. It makes it pop a little bit. I've done the technique for years myself because I used to use, if I said tea green, you might understand which pens I had. But I used to use tea green from that set of pens before I had my Spectrum pens. Yeah. Sorry, Liam. To be fair, I gave them all to my daughter. I let her have them all. It took me ages to collect them. And then I used Spectrum. Yeah. And that, for me, it was a game changer in terms of the better way that I could get my colouring techniques done. But I used to use tea green and go around the outside, and it just lifts it a little bit. Yeah. So you can do that where you take your fine tip, and like I said, our lovely Craig loves this technique, but you just go around the outskirts of your image, and it makes the image pop. Even though I've done the fussy cutting, it just makes it pop around the image itself. And of course, if you have gone over your lines and you haven't got a blender pen, guess what? Covers them up. Yeah. So it can be a nice technique to do. Mm-hmm.
And it's really effective.
It does. It just makes it pop that little bit more. And it is, like I said, I know that there are a lot of people out there that already do this, but it just gives it a little lift, tiny little pop. Gives it a bit of a grounding as well, and it just makes it look really a nice finish.
Sometimes it's a very small tips, very small techniques that make it go from something being homemade to something looking very professional.
Yes,
isn't it? And
yeah,
absolutely. You wouldn't know to do that necessarily unless you'd really sort of inspected a card that'd been made, thinking, oh yes, that's what works. Lynn Harvey says, Debbie, you do make me laugh the way you say things sometimes, but you're amazing and I wouldn't want you to change.
Oh, thank you, Lynn. Thank you. That's very, very kind of you, and I'm pleased to know that because I couldn't change if I tried. I'd like to think I could, but I've been like this since probably my mum will tell you since the day I could talk, but it just doesn't that make that little bit of a difference just by lifting it. So shall we put it on a card? Shall we let's get something finished for a change, because I know what I'm like. So I've done myself a little fold. Have you heard, Ben? I've measured this. This is a bigger one, 6.5 by 6.5. I've popped a fold into the centre, and I've used Centura Pearl. It's got the hint of gold to this one. You can see that lovely gold tone running through it. And I've just literally folded it in half, folded it back on itself, the front flap, brought that back on itself. I've got myself some papers. Oh, we did a game yesterday, Becky. I actually won. I'm not going to lie, I don't know how I did it, but I actually won the paper pad game over Joe.
Was it guess which paper
Guess
pad?
the paper pad.
Oh, that would have been difficult for me.
Oh, my days. You know how bad I am. I have to write it down every time, because they showed us a piece of paper, yes, Ben, so they put a piece of paper on the screen, and then we had to guess which paper pad it was from.
That's tricky.
I got 6 right, Joe got 4, I think, so I did win.
But I bet our viewers got them all right.
Do you know what? What surprised me the most, and I don't know if she were winding me up or not, but do you know Christine Mahoney, our paper pad queen?
Yeah.
She even said it were hard.
Oh.
Yeah, she said it was hard, and it was hard, I'm not going to lie. There were some that were easy, and I said some. Probably the ones that I got right. Actually, to be fair, I got a couple by fluke. And I mean by fluke. But yeah, it was very, very hard, that game. Yeah, this paper pad, I can rest assured, I know which it is because I wrote it down. I got it from the Dancing Dragonflies because we had them on yesterday.
Even I recognise that one because I've got it at home.
Have you?
Yes, I have.
It's gorgeous.
I don't want to do anything with it, I have to keep looking at it.
So I'm making a double Z fold card. So the same fold that I've done with this one. So it's still a piece that's 6.5 inches, so it's 13 inches, used from an A3 piece, scored into half and scored in half again, so it brings itself round. And I'm just going to flip reverse. Flip reverse, that's all. Okay. But I'm just going to mount it first with my cardstock. So I'm just going to pop these pieces on. I've already done my matting and layering because obviously the focus today is on the Colour Me Happy show rather than the folds. But I did one of these last week on my live, my Facebook Live. I did a double Z fold card. Oh, I'm enjoying my lives, yeah, producer Ben. I'm enjoying my lives. I'm going to do another one tomorrow, my Monday, because I wanted to do them every Sunday, but then I did say it was schedule depending, and because I'm here tonight, I can't do one tonight. Sunday will be my regular slot when I'm not working on air. But so if I can't do it on Sunday, I'm going to try and get as close to Sunday as I possibly can. So yes, I've got another one planned for tomorrow, and I will be letting everyone know at the time and things like that, because I just need to check the schedules out. What are you going to do on that one? Can you give us a little... Do you know what, Becky? I haven't got a plan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the thing with my lives. Sometimes I do a little bit of random.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do something planned. And last week's was definitely, I'm saying random, but I was planning on doing something different. I was going to use the gilding flakes. But then we had the amazing success with the Winter Sparkle. So I did a Winter Sparkle double Z fold card that you can go back onto my page. So I'll take you through. It's like a real-time craft along. That's what it is when I'm doing my live. And I know our Craig loves doing his lives. He hasn't been able to do one this week. And that's because he's had his mum visit him. But he is looking forward to coming back to work on Tuesday, Ben. Are you ready for him? Oh, it's honestly, it's going to be a fabulous, fabulous day. And he's here all day with our lovely Ben. So please do join him and welcome him back, because it's going to be fabulous.
Nice to see him back.
It is. I can't wait. I'm going to be watching it myself, Becky. I'm not going to lie. I shall be watching myself because it's just so lovely to have him back with us, back in the bosom of our hearts.
Oh.
Yeah, where he belongs. Where he belongs. And he knows because I tell him all the time. Right, so I've fetched in a little mat and layer with my, I've used me swirl, do you know me, I carry them everywhere with me, Becky. I carry things like nesting dies, and I also carry things like embossing folders around with me, just when you have to craft on buttons.
What, just like generally when you go to the supermarket?
What does it mean, what?
Just generally when you go to the supermarket, you said
oh no, Becky, no, what are you doing?
You're there getting your eggs and your bread.
What are you like?
Oh, nesting dies.
You little cheeky thing, you. No, I don't carry it absolutely everywhere with me. When I'm crafting. Yeah. When I'm crafting. So I'm going to go in there. Oh, I can hear Ben's getting his producer head on now, can't you? You can hear him getting his producer head on, Becky. Couple of minutes, Debbie, couple of minutes. Come on, Debbie, get your skates on. You've done enough dilly-dallying. You've done enough chatting for England. Let's get cracking. We are. I promise we are. So I'm just going to pop on now my little image. I think I'm going to lift it, though, with a foam pad. Get me? Get me going. Channeling me inner Craig. I've not got my chunky glow out. It's because I can't find me chunky glue, that's the
Oh,
thing.
no.
I know I need to get some. I might be pinching some out of Jake's drawers again today later, but shh, let's not tell him. Yeah, he'll never know. Shh. But I do need some. And I forgot to place it on my last order. What a silly thing to do. So let's just pop that on. I'm going to add a little ribbon. Of course, you can colour match your ribbon because you can take, and I will talk about that later, but Ben's telling me I've got to move on, so I'm going to move on. But again, there you go. And we've got ourselves a lovely little double Z fold card using the image and the colours from the starter kit, which is a beautiful starter kit.
Oh, that's really lovely. I like that a lot. Very simple, very easy to do, but it looks super effective. So this is your starter kit, which you've got just in front of me. You've got 2 of the sets of pens. So you've got the floral and you've got the nature. You've got 24 pens in total. You've got 2 stamps, the butterfly one and the fairy one. You've got the ink pad that's going to work with your alcohol markers, and you've got your Nina card. So this is really, really popular. It's been very busy. £35 or $45. Your platinum price is £28 or $36. So do pop that in your baskets if you're keen for that to happen. Now, we've also got some other stamps. So these are absolutely gorgeous. These are illustrated animal stamps. So it's 75% off here. So the first one is You're a Hoot. So these are going to be absolutely glorious for you to use with your pens. You'll also be getting a die with each of these, so you can cut everything out. So you've got the giraffe, which is Born to be Wild. The next one is your Dream Big with that wonderful elephant, which I think Brent did on a show, one of his first show when he was doing demonstrating. And then we've got Believe in Yourself with that beautiful unicorn. And then finally, we've got Welcome to the World with the butterfly here. So this whole collection here is £18 or $21. That's really good. £14.40 or $16.80 is the platinum price. So it's 76% off. Really good value for you. The next one are the Connie Fong collections. So this is, again, this is 76% off. I'm looking at my little notes here. I know, I'm being super precise. I'm being, yeah, I'm not going to be quite that precise, but in my notes I've written 76%. So here you've got these beautiful set of stamp and dies with all these little angels. So this is your friendship angels, and you've also got all of those little pets there as well, which is really, really beautiful. The next one, it has just fallen apart. Which one is this one here? So this is your Twinkle Angel. Again, you're going to get the dies as well as the stamps in this collection. Then we've got Angel Prayers, absolutely stunning. This one is going to look really beautiful when you start colouring that with your new markers. Angel Wishes, again, you're going to get all of those dies to cut out all the flowers, all the other little bits and pieces, as well as those stamps. You've got Angel Whispers, again, dies and stamps in here. And then finally, you've got Angel Messenger. Really pretty designs here. So this is £19 or $22. Your platinum price is £15.20 or $17.60. Now Debbie's going to be doing a demonstration with these in just a moment, but we'll take this opportunity to check out your baskets, and we'll see you in a couple of moments.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the Crafters Companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
We get to know people from places and walks of life that we wouldn't come across in our everyday life if it wasn't for Crafters TV and doing what we do.
I got so many lovely comments from people when I started doing the presenting, and it was just really such a lovely feeling. And it's nice that people keep messaging in. You know, we see the same people. We know you can build up that kind of relationship with those people. So it's just the fact that people like what we do and they're pleased. And I do love it when people send us photographs of the items that they've made.
We talk about customers, but really they go in as a customer, come out as a friend. The support that I get is amazing. The messages I get are amazing.
Me personally, it is personal interaction. I've never had the best of health. I've always been open about that with our viewers at Crafters TV. So many people are in the same situation as me health-wise. Other people have got a completely different health issues. They understand and they relate to what I'm going through, what others are going through. So whether we interact on a crafting basis or whether we interact on a health basis, a personal basis, we're all there to support one another. It is incredible.
The reaction of viewers when they come to meet us is worth all of the early mornings when we have to get up for our early morning shows.
Some of the customers come on as craft ambassadors and things like that, craft along with us, and being able to actually chat with them on air. I love it. I really love that connection with them.
We've had lots of shows where we've done like craft alongs, especially where we've had viewers craft along with us. We had a particular viewer, Joy, who joined us once before, and she literally made me cry on air, and Joe, because the things she said about us, it really was quite humbling that there are people out there that watch us and invite us into their living rooms and really treat us like family.
Here at Crafters TV, it couldn't be easier to get your hands on the latest crafty must-haves. Leave the hard work to us while you shop from the comfort of your own living room. Head to the Crafters Companion website to see our full crafty range, or hit the Shop the Day button to see all the new and exciting products featuring on Crafters TV. Once you've filled your cart, leave it to us to get your crafty goodies to you in super quick time, so you can get on with being creative. Crafters Companion, making crafty shopping a breeze.
Hello, welcome back. I hope you're enjoying your Sunday. And we're here with Colour Me Happy. I'm here with Debbie, who's going to be showing us loads of different techniques. Now, if you are keen to get some of our pens, we do have a special deal for you. So not only do we have this sort of starter collection, but we also have the collection of pens. So you get 60 pens in the collection. You'll be getting the pastels, you'll be getting the brights, and you'll be getting the jewel tones in here as well. But you'll also be getting the nature and the floral, which are in that main collection that we've got just to the side of me. The price for this is £74 or $119. Really, really good price for all of these pens. So 60 pens you'll be getting in here. And as you saw from that sort of main collection when we were talking earlier on, you're getting all those different tones in there. So you'll be getting all those different colours for different types of items that you might be wanting to use. So you're going to get a whole spectrum of colours from Spectrum Noir. I know, did very well, didn't I? But we're going to go back to Debbie for some demonstrations. Now, before we do that, if you've got any questions, please do message in. If you're not too sure about how to use them, maybe you've got the pens, you've never taken them out, so you've used them and something's gone wrong, do message in, let us know, and we'll see if we can come up with an answer for you. But over to Debbie.
Don't see me board. Look at my board. I've got a big board here.
That is a big board.
I don't know how Charlotte's going to be able to do this, so I'm going to let her angle it while I keep it there for a second, because I want to show you that we've talked about pens. We've done a little demonstration with them, but I want to talk to you about the permanent part of it, which means the permanent ink means that you can colour onto lots of surfaces, and I touched on it when I went through that little instruction that you're getting with every single pen that you buy. So if you're going for the smaller ones, there's an instruction sheet in there. The larger ones, obviously there's always a sheet in there too. But talking about the things that you can go on to, so when we talked about colour swatching, ribbons, buttons, gems, all those kind of things, this board literally consists of all the things that you can go on to. And I just say all the things, you can still go onto your glass and all those, you know, MDFs and things like that. But I'm going to talk to you about colour swatching ribbons. So up here, can you see here, we've got the these gorgeous, this is that lacy kind of ribbon.
Yeah.
What about your paper flowers that you can buy?
Yeah.
And you can, I mean, I know we do, and you can colour onto your foam, by the way. Do you know our flower foaming foam?
Yes.
You can take your alcohol marker and go onto there as well. But if you buy these plain flowers, you can colour match them with your colours of your alcohol pens. This is leather, a white leather that's been coloured in, that you can colour in as well. Now, buttons, these are the kind of things, and not just any old button. This is a clear one that you can add a little bit of colour to. Now, it doesn't show very well on the black card, but this one shows you the difference between the two. Twine. Again, this is that thick ribbon that's just had some alcohol, and I'll show you in a second. This is the lovely organza ribbon. Satin ribbon. You can colour swatch. So it started life like this. These are the colours that you can pop on. So these are the kind of things. So this is the colour that we've just added onto it to show you the kind of things that you can do. Gems. There's all sorts of gems that are out on the market. Do you know from your and I'm going to say it, I'll call it as it is. Do you know your cheap shops, the pound shops?
Yeah.
You can buy these in a big pack for £1. And I say a big, about hundreds of them on there.
Yeah.
You could take those for kids or whatever it is that you want to do, or maybe for yourself if you craft with. My Auntie Jean loved the pound shops because you're always in there for gems.
Yeah.
But you could colour swatch, and that's everything of all the different gems, from faceted gems to the, do you know those lovely crusty gems? That's not the right word. What's the crusty gem? Not the crusty gem. What do they call that, Becky?
I've got no idea. A crusty
Oh
gem.
dear Lord! Do you know what I mean with when I say a crusty gem?
Faceted.
That's the faceted one. This is the. Oh, what's it called? It's got a name. But look, that's life as it was. That's life as it coloured in.
Like a sort of kind of glittery spangly
I
one.
love them. My friend, she literally, I'm so sorry, Charlotte. I know it's not crusty, but the way that I would describe it is it's got like...
Oh, are they a little bit like jelly tots?
Yes.
But not edible.
Thank you, Becky. Yes, just exactly like that. Moving swiftly along, we've got MDF, so your MDF pieces. You could go straight on with your MDF pieces. No coating, no gesso, no nothing like that. You can go directly straight onto there. Things like mirror card. So you can actually change your mirror card, and I'll show you in a second because I've got one done. Drinks cans, glitter card. People don't think, but you can. So you could die cut your glitter card, and then you could give it this lovely effect if you wanted to. And then moving along to the doily section, this is chipboard. We've got some more, and I say not the encapsulated glitter, but do you know when you've added like a bit of textured paste, you could then colour, when it's dry, you can go over the top and you can colour your textured pastes and things like that, glitter paste. Sequins, love the sequins. Think you can match and you colour swatch your sequins. So that board is literally just the tip of the iceberg of the things that you can colour in with. It's a permanent marker at the end of the day, and it just means that you can do things. And I have got a little piece there. I've got a little bit of encapsulated glitter, but I've used one of my favourite embossing folders over the top of this. Excuse me, over the top of the silver cardstock. Do you know the mirror, luxury mirror cardstock? Highly reflective.
Yeah.
And we can go in and we can colour this as well, Becky. So if I'm just going to pop that down, let's get a couple of colours. And I'm going to get a nice deep colour. Now, I did say about your storage, I've got them all stored here at the side. I said mine, these aren't mine, these are the studio set. I've tried, I'm just going to say it, I've just tried to get them back in an order.
Are they all muddled up?
All muddled up. At all. I mean, who shall we blame? Who shall we blame? Can't blame Craig. He's not even been back in building, producer Ben. Oh my days, poor little Craig. Who was here before me? The Fisher. Deb's fish. Yes, we'll blame Debbie. She blames me for everything, so I'm going to get it back. I'm going to get my own back. But no, they're all mixed up. So at home, in mine, I've got a big carry case. Again, you can go over to the website. It might not be on the show, but on the website, there's your big portable carry cases that I put all my trays in, and I carry all my pens. Carry all my pens? Keep all my pens in to keep them nice and together, Becky. So I'm going to go in with, let's have a little purple flower. I'll probably go in now because it's raised. I can actually colour this in. It's a lovely technique that you can do. I know at the moment you can't see, so let me just take that off there, and let's see if we can start having a play with some brighter colours. It's not what I'm going to say an in-your-face kind of effect, but it looks really effective when you do this. I'm going to go in with a green. Let's go over. Because it's raised as well and embossed, it means it's easy to colour. So you can go directly onto there. And I'll do that with a couple of those.
It's a super embossed thing that you've done there, isn't it? I mean, it's a really sort of in-depth embossed folder.
Yes, it's a 3D embossing folder. Actually, I think it's called Country Garden, and you can still get hold of it. It's not one that we've retired. It's one that we've got old. Well, I've had it a bit, actually, mine. I absolutely love it. In fact, I loved it that much, I bought more than one.
Oh, Eve said, Debbie, are you thinking about druzy? I don't think I spelt it correctly. Druzy, with that little sparkly, spangly.
I know, I can't think of the name. A druzy.
A druzy. That's not a word I've.
It's not a word I'm familiar with. It's like a gemstone, but not a gem. It's druzy.
Druzy is a gemstone.
That's Charlotte showing her lovely jewellery knowledge there. Jewellery expert there. She is, because she used to work many years ago.
What is a druzy then? Oh, right, like an uncut gemstone. Oh, okay.
Oh, right, okay, yeah, we'll go with that then. So, who was that said that?
That was Eve.
Eve, thank you very much.
You.
Eve obviously is clearly a lady who knows her gems as well. Thank you very much, Eve. A druzy. I'm going to remember that.
I like a new name.
And yes, I like learning as well. That's one thing I always say. I'm always learning something new every day. It literally is true. They say that, don't they? That every day is a school day. It is. I learn something new every day.
Often people message in and say, well, actually, I use this particular product for doing this. And you're like, oh, okay. So we all sort of learn from the viewers anyway, don't we?
Yeah, all the time. All the time. That's the beautiful thing about this lovely community of crafters that we have. I say it a lot, but it's true. I'm just going to lift that up for a little bit because I'm not going to go too much into depth, but can you see on the mirror cardstock?
Beautiful.
Oh, there it is. Look, there's the money shot, as they would say in Crafters TV. Not the Crafters TV, in shopping telly. But yeah, absolutely, that's the money shot there. And you can see that lovely green. So you can go on to things like this. And of course, you could go directly over the top. I'll do it with my chisel end, actually, because I'll probably get a little bit more colour down. But you can go directly over glitter cardstock as well. So imagine embossing your glitter cardstock and then going over the top, and you lose none of the glitter or the sparkle. It's encapsulated, but you can, again, colour swatch. So if you've got a piece of cardstock that you want to match, perhaps I'd done that in all the pink and I wanted this to match, instead of looking for the right one that would match it, I could colour swatch it. The same with gems. Now, please excuse me, because God love him, he tried to find me some white gems. Could we find some white gems? Could we, Ecky Thump? So all I'm going to do is, I'm going to go in, because you can literally take it, I'll go it with my fine tip this time, and go round, and you can colour your gems in as well. So if you go in, you can even change, now that's a light blue, but I've changed that now to that beautiful rose red colour. And again, just showing you that you can take your alcohol pens and you can go over and you can colour match your gems. And then your ribbon. Shall we stick to the same colour while we've got this colour out, Producer Ben?
Why not?
Why not? Let's go in. And all you do is you take, and this is a cream ribbon, but you just take it over the top. Now, because it's a textured ribbon, you will get a different look to what you would with a smooth ribbon. So if I've got a bit of organza at the side of me again, God love him, he's tried to find me some white ones. Can we? We just can't find any. Isn't it marvellous? We're in a studio full of craft, and Debbie forgot to bring a box with her, because it's my own fault really, not Jake's, because I do have a box of, I call them it's an odds and sods box. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Bits and pieces that I've picked up, the kind of thing that you can go over, and I've left it on my craft table, which I am most annoyed about, because I thought I were all organised this morning, but I've left it on the craft table. So you get a different look than you would do with a smoother one, because there's texture to this lacy ribbon. But you can see, again, you can take ribbon and you can colour swatch. And the same with, if I bring in, let's have a look, what did he find?
If you used your re-inker with that, you could effectively just use it as a dye.
Yeah, you could. Now, I know you wouldn't normally go over a green ribbon, but needs must. I've changed it from a green ribbon to a red ribbon. So again, taking all these things into account, these are all the kind of things that you can do with your permanent alcohol markers. So again, it's just making your markers go that little bit further in terms of just colouring, but in terms of colour swatching things as well, which I absolutely love, and something that when I first started colouring, I had no idea that you could do this. Our lovely Fiona taught me. It was Fiona that said to me, Debbie, do you realise that the pens can do this, this and this? And I'm like, all this time I've been colouring and I had no idea I could colour swatch things,
Yeah.
that's exactly what you can do. So that was just a quick little kind of ideas, because I want to get on with some more demos if I can. But just to give you some ideas of how your pens will go that little bit further. And I am going to come up with the re-inking. I'll just leave it. I'm going to get my next demonstration out of the way, and then I'll show you why, once you've bought a classic pen, it is something that will live in your crafty stash forever, because you can re-ink them once it's run out and dried up. And you'll know what I mean, Becky. Do you know when you start to see it and it's not performing as well, it just needs re-inking. Don't go out and buy a new pen. I know you can buy them individually, but I'm telling you not to go out and buy them. Go out and buy your re-ink bottle. Your re-ink bottle is a lot of ink that will not, I mean, I drop a few, I'm not going to drop too much in there because these are quite fairly new, but I'll just show you how to do that and how easy it is to do as well. So, we'll come back to that one in a minute, but I'm going to get ready for my next demonstration,
Fab.
Becky.
Debbie Jones says you can colour in the chipped areas of your dinnerware and match up the colours, then add glossy effects. That's a great idea. Nipuma says, Debbie, could you please show us the technique of intensifying alcohol mark coloured areas with colour pencils? Can Gamsol be used in that context? Maybe.
So with the pencils, yes, you can do that. Oh, I wish I'd got... I ain't got my samples with me. So the colour blend pencils, you can absolutely go over to the top. So if I can grab hold of some, I'll try and emphasise that over the top. I'll get our Jake. He's going to go mad with me. He's going to go mad with me. I'll try and get Jake to get hold of a set for me, and I will show you that. I've got a Connie Fong demonstration coming up, but I will absolutely do that for you to show exactly how you can do that as well, because you can mix the two colour blend pencils with your alcohol markers to get the more intensified colour. Again, we've got lots of tuition. Our lovely Leanne's done a class on that before. You can go into YouTube and check that, but if I get the opportunity to grab hold of Jake, I will get hold of some of those pencils and I will show you how you can do that in my next demo.
Okay, and one further question from Barbara. I have Spectrum Noir, I think that's Illustrator, and Tri-Blend. What's the difference? Is it just the nib? I don't have the Classique.
Right, so yes, so an Illustrator is exactly what you've said. It's the nib. Just hang fire, Becky, while I go and grab one. And I'll grab myself a Tri-Blend while I'm here as well. So where's my Illustrators?
So do take advantage of sending in your questions, because we are here, and let us know if there are any other questions you want us to show you. Do you want to see all the do you want to see all the nibs of all the different pens? We can absolutely do that. Just message in and let us know.
Right, so I've actually got my Tri-Blends. Let me just turn this way so you can see them. So Tri-Blends are a 3-in-1 pen colour blend of a family. So this is the dark red blend, and you've got 3 shades. Now I've gone with the brush ones here because there is the originals which aren't brush nibs. In fact, let me just... Whoa, making me work today.
I'm making you work.
Making me work today. But this is a good question. You know, this is what Colour Me Happy shows are about. Yes, I'll do some demonstrations. Yes, I'll show you how fabulous our pens are. But if you want to know the difference between things, just ask. That's why we're here. We're not here just to, you know, just to...
Eat cake.
Yeah. Oh, love that, Becky. I love that. Right, Tri-Blends, original Tri-Blends are a black barrel, ergonomically shaped like the Classics, like the Illustrators, and don't roll anywhere, hence why I can pop them there. But this is the burnt orange blend, and you've got 3 of the individual colours that you would get with an Illustrator or a Classic in one pen to give you controlled blending. You're not having to go out looking for BO1, BO2 or BO4 because it's in that one pen. And that is a fabulous system in the light, the medium and the dark. The same applies to the Tri-Blend brush pen. The Tri-Blend brush pen is a Japanese brush nib, so you get a different feel. However, it is very similar, but I'm just going to show you because people have often said to me, is it the same? It's not exactly the same, but it is, well, actually, to be fair, pretty similar.
Yeah.
Let's say pretty similar. It's a brush nib. It's a Japanese brush nib on the Tri-Blend brush pen and on the Illustrator as one. But the difference between that, and again, the Tri-Blend brush pen, it's the same colour family in the 3 shades. So I'll put those back on. And this one, you've got dark red, but the 4 different blends of light, medium and dark. Illustrator, it's one colour. Dual tipped, one colour. Classique, dual tipped, one colour. But the visible thing you can see straight away is that nib. And the nib, I'll bring these on to you so you can see. Classique is that fine nib, she says. I think this one needs re-inking. And then again, the chisel. The Illustrator is an even finer one. Now, this is not the same colour family, so please excuse, but it is a finer nib, so it's like a little tiny bullet nib, and then the Japanese brush nib, which gives you the flicking techniques, and it's got the blendability. It's got that, you know, that lovely bend that you can get into. So that's the difference between an Illustrator to a Classique. Two different pens, same kind of system in terms of it's an alcohol pen. It's just completely different. Perfect for illustration, brushed lettering, and you know, still colour. I still colour with my Illustrators, but they are two different pens with 4 different nibs on, as you can see. Chisel, bullet, fine, brush. And I hope that settles the difference between why you've got different pens.
Brilliant, thank you very much for that. And if you are keen to get your pens, and we do have the 60 Classique pen collection, you'll be getting the first one here, which is your pastels, with those really beautiful, all those pastel colours. Then you'll be getting your jewels, so there's much richer tones in here. Then you'll be getting your brights, so you've got much sort of more bright, almost primary colours in there. But you'll also be getting, just in front of me, we've got the floral collection, and you'll also be getting the nature collection as well. So those 2 other packs are the ones that are in this big bundle that we've got here. And so the price for these 60 pen collection is £74 or $119. Platinum price is £59.20 or $95.20. Do remember today, just until midnight, we do have £5 off if you spend over £40. You just need to use the code SEPT5, and that finishes at midnight. So if you are going to buy something, do make sure you check out before it becomes tomorrow, basically. We've also got our pen trays. So if you want to keep all of your pens super tidy the way that we have them over there, these are our pen trays. If I open them up, you'll see what you get inside. I found these really, really useful. I like the idea of having everything all organised. So you've got your trays here, which will fit your Spectrum Noir pens inside. So this collection is £19.99 or $24.50. Definitely worth doing if you've got the pens and you don't know where you're going to put them. Don't put them in standing upright, because that's not how you should store them. You should be storing them flat on their side to make sure that the ink stays nice and fully servicing your pens. That's the only explanation I give. You know what I mean. Oh dear. I think by osmosis I'm absorbing Debbie's craziness. So we also have these beautiful Connie Fong angel stamps. These are absolutely beautiful. So this first one here is your friendship angel. You're going to be getting your stamps, and you'll also be getting your dies. The sentiments are there, like, may there always be an angel by your side, and friends are angels in disguise. Not all angels in disguise. I know, great.
Oh my goodness, don't you be channeling Dad Ben jokes, a Ben joke in your head. So you talk about me giving you the words, you're using Ben's bad jokes there.
I love a dad joke. I do love a dad joke. The second one is your twinkle angel. Again, you've got your stamps and dies in there, sentiments wishing you peace, love and joy, and I believe in angels. Then you've got angel prayers, couldn't read that word. I'm praying for you, an angel to watch over you. Really, really pretty there. Angel wishes, feathers appear when angels are near. Happy birthday, little angel. And then angel whispers, sentiments are angel kisses and you are an angel. And finally, angel messenger, you are heaven sent and you are a blessing. Fantastic value on this, only £19 or $22. Platinum price is £15.20 or $17.60. And Debbie's going to be using these in the next demonstration.
Absolutely. So I'm just going to bring in some more colours though, because I'm going to use the Connie Fong are just absolutely glorious. I've already pre-stamped. You saw me do the stamp earlier on, talked about the alcohol proof ink pad. That's exactly what you're going to do with this, because I'm going to use Classiques again. I'm going to go into a bit more broader colours though this time. And Jake, God love him, has found me some colour blend pencils. So I've had him working as well, because if I've got to work, so has he. But yes, so I've taken the lovely, and this is a lovely one. This is the Angel Wishes, beautiful. And again, you're getting a little bit of, on the front of the packaging, you could actually take some inspiration from our lovely Michelle. Michelle Milsom is one of our lovely colourists on our design team. She's amazing at what she does. I mean, all of the colourists on the Spectrum design team are absolutely phenomenal. If you ever want to get some expert tuition free of charge, go and join the Spectrum Noir I wouldn't say fan club then, but the Facebook page. And it is like a fan club because they post their amazing work on there. So definitely go over to there, and they share their tips and things like that as well as their amazing projects, sorry. But yes, so you could take some inspiration from that if you wanted. I love the idea that you've got the stamp, but then you've got all the accessories as well, which for me really makes a difference. So we're going to have a little play with the fair skin. Now, I did have my fair skin because we have got some smaller bundles. We've got some smaller packs. Go and check that Shop the Show out because we've tried to cover all sorts of bases for you in terms of skin tones, and I've got in this one with the fair skin one, I've got a lot to be able to choose from. I think I've got one missing, but let's have a little nosy because there's 5 there. I've got my FS3, FS4, that's those 2. I've got my FS8, that's that one. FS6, that's that one. 7. What's missing? Oh, 9, it's fine. It's fine. So we're going to go in. So you can see when we talk about fair skin, you've got all sorts of tones here. So you've got let's go in from the lowest to the highest. And then last one there. And there is another one. There's the number 9 that's on there as well. So if I show you now, again, they've all got the same name, same codes, FS, but you've got 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, and then 9 in this one. So you've gone from a lighter shade right through to a dark shade, but they've all got their own colours. So portrait pink, blush, cream, linen, eggshell, and the other one is ivory. Right. So again, lots. We're getting heckled by a truck at the back. Dearie me, honestly, just can't get the stuff. Right, so we're going to go in with, let's go in with the light tone. So we'll build up, first of all, a little bit of light tone around. Oh, excuse me, what are we doing?
It's very noisy.
Does he love my colouring, or is he watching us?
Yeah.
I think he might be watching us, and now he's decided, beep if you're watching.
We knew that was going to happen.
Well, he's let me down. Noisy devil. Does he not know we have some live TV going up in here? I mean, come on, seriously. Doesn't he know who we are? Now, I'm going to go in and I'm what I call a saturation of the first colour, the lighter colour. So I'm going in and going all the way around her hairline. At the minute, she's looking fairly lovely, but we can build up that colour by using... Now, I did say you could take that one colour and build up, but you've got the fair skin. And I definitely recommend that bundle. Is it the fair skin, dark skin? I can't remember that bundle, Becky. I'm ever so sorry. No, not in the starter bundle. Sorry, Ben. I should have been more clearer. There's, I think, 3 pad. Thank you, yeah. Thank you very much, Ben. Thank you. You're very kind. Thank you very much. He's such a good egg, isn't he? I'm going to go in with, and I know you might think this is a bit bizarre, but I'm going to go in with the FS6 rather than the 4 first. So I'm going to come in with the next colour, and we're going to go over the top, and we're going to start to build up, because this is a darker shade. Yeah. And I'm going underneath a hairline. So literally, and round her ear as well. And I'm going to go a little bit over beautiful eyelashes. I used to pay good money for them. She's so lovely. She's just they are the cutest images. They really are. And then I'm going to go in with the mid-tone. So I'm saying mid-tone, another lighter tone there. So, but again, I'm not going to go over because what will happen, Becky? I will bleach out that, and I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to go in with some little gentle tickling. Yeah, tickling.
And it is really tickling, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's the lightest of the touch. Nothing to stop you from going like in little areas, you know, in this kind of area where you cross over and build up your colour as well. But I just want to tickle. So can you see where we've got a little bit of a blush? We've got a little bit of shading going off under here as well. Again, while it's still wet, if you want to add a little bit more, go in and add a bit more. While it's wet, the ink, it's more easier to do the blending of the two. So again, I'm gonna leave that there. I might put a little bit of dark under just under a little mouth there, a little bit on her nose. Give her a little bit of, actually I could go in with a little bit of a light pink on this one. So let me go in with, I've got that many colours on here.
Spoilt for choice, aren't you?
I am, yeah, I'm spoilt for choice. But I could go in if I wanted. Maybe just add a little hint of a different colour. Give her some cheekbones. There we go. Just add a little bit there. Not going to add too much. And start to build up. And now the same, and I'm going to let that dry off for a little bit. And like I said, because the alcohol content will dry and then you'll get that lovely seamless blend every time. Now I'm going to move to some different colours. So I've gone with, I've taken some from the blues. So we've got lots of colours on here. So I've got the AB1, AB2, AB3. So I've got 3 different shades of the blues. Again, go and check that. Did we say shop the show? Shop the show. Shop the show, shop the day. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm going to go in with the lightest of the colour. It's gorgeous. I said blue. It's like a turquoisey blue. Beautiful. Go underneath there. Yeah, a little bit in there. And then I'm going to start building up. And like I said, I always, when I do this, choose to do an area at a time rather than going in with
just
a
that
full
colour.
area.
Yeah.
Work from a little area and have a practice and have a play until you get used to it, and then you'll know how much you can actually get down in terms of colour. But I'm just going to go around and again just take that. There we are. And I'm going to let that dry out. I could add more colour into there if I wanted to, but I'm going to come down a little bit and do her skirt. So I'll start with the light one again. So I've got my AB1. Because I'm going in with a large area, I can actually go straight down and take, if I just turn that around, Producer Ben, do we have any... look at me, Producer Ben. Sorry, it's a bit weird calling you Producer Ben, isn't it? It's because I call Producer Johnny Producer Jamie. And you are in the producer chair today. The question, expert Debbie, is, do we have any of the rotating boards in stock? Thank you. So I'm just going to go down, and because I've got the chisel end, I'm going to go in with a little bit more surface area. Oh, fabulous. Fabulous. So we have the 9x11 in stock. Thank you, Ben. If only they could hear, Becky. If only they could hear. Yeah, I'm gonna stick to calling you my Ben then. Oh, my lovely Ben. But yeah, just because I've got a nice big area to cover, I can go down in. Yeah, of course you can. And then you can start to add the darker shades. So let's go in with the 3. And I'll go in and start to add a little bit of definition. Oh, thank you, Ben. Right, okay, so I've got another demo to squeeze in. So I'm just going to go in and add a little bit of depth and dimension just down the... I'm using the artwork, actually, of the dress. And I'm going to just blend that out in a second with the other colour. But I have got one that I've done at the side of me because I wanted to show the lovely lady that asked us the question earlier regarding emphasising, is that the word she used, with the pencils.
Intensifying.
Intensify. Thank you, Becky. So even though we haven't got them on the show, they are on the website, and I will show you how you can intensify. Can you see how it's starting to build up? That's what you're going to do. Now, because I want to show that little bit, I am going to speed this bit up just for a second. Move those across there and bring in, and now don't forget you've got the dyes in this, so you can die cut it out. So I've coloured her all in. I've used my browns. I think I used the, if I remember right, it's the red brown I use for her hair. I used a little bit of grey to touch up her wings, a little bit of the, this was a CR, so that's from the coral colour. So I use the coral, and again, just have a little play. I use a different fair skin on her face, so it's a different technique. There's loads of different colours that you can play around with when it comes to skin tone. And again, loads of tuitions, but the emphasising. Let's bring in some pencils. And I've got some pencils that I thought would match the colours that are on here. So let's come in and start to emphasise by taking your wax pencil, and I can go in and emphasise this lovely shaded area. And I'll do another one with this colour. Now, I would recommend using some blending solution over the top. Now, you don't dip your pencil into it. You use a little, I use a little bit into a little pot. Do you know those little jam pots that you can get from hotels?
Oh, yeah.
I empty them out, clean them.
Do you say secretly? Like,
I know I'm saying it secretly. It's because I feel like I'm thieving from hotels.
No, they throw them in the bin.
Well, they end up in the bin, so recycling them. And I've got one at home, which I've got some cotton wool inside, and I put a little bit of the solution in there, and then I use my little... I carry them around me everywhere, Becky. A little stump.
Oh, yes.
don't dip your stump into the wet direct straight into that bottle. Please don't stick that stump in there. What are you laughing at? Behave yourself. Make it just... What was that noise in my ear? What was this snorting? Who was snorting? You know what I mean? You just want to dampen it, and then you can blend it. So I'm gonna have to makeshift this, because these aren't the focus of this show, but I just want to show you. I've got a little bit of a tissue, so I'm just gonna dab a bit onto my tissue. Just you want a little bit, tiny little bit, and then you can then smooth it out and blend it in over the top of your alcohol pen. Does that make sense? Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you okay there, you two in the gallery over there? I can hear you all sniggering away.
It does sound like they're little piglets.
Yeah,
in there.
little sniggering going in there. Yeah, a little bit of sniggering. It must be, is it some hands in the pants time down there? Because you sound like you've got to... That's when someone's tickled you. Ants in your pants. Yeah. It's a little... No! The ants in your pants. Have you never heard that expression before? No, do you know? Literally. What are you like, Ben? Behave yourself. Yes, come on. Let's be professional. Come on. How many minutes? Okay, thank you. I'll just have 4 or 5 minutes then left, just so I can
I have
get
got
in
another
this.
question.
Yes.
Lena says, hi Debbie, if you don't have the blender pen, could you remove some of the excess colour with a little clear alcohol? I don't know the English word for it, in Danish it's spirit. I coloured outside the lines a little. So when we were doing earlier on, when you were colouring outside the pen, could you just use a alcohol spirit? Could you? Gin, vodka, whiskey, pina colada.
I wouldn't recommend it. I know. I think I've heard Leanne say this before, but the blender pen is I think it's about $1.99 to $2.99 on the website that you can buy. Some kits have got them in there, but I would recommend using that because you've got more control.
Yes.
You've got a bit more control. Do you know you could perhaps use one of those earbuds and things like that, but I wouldn't recommend it. No, personally myself, it's a little bit of a faff. But if you can go to the website, I think that's how I got mine, because I didn't have one in a kit. I bought it separately, the blender pen. But yeah, absolutely, get one of those. It makes life easy for yourself. But can you see how I'm emphasising that colour? I'm building up a little bit more by mixing the pencil in there and then just blending that out with my stump. And again, just make sure that it isn't saturated and you'll get a lovely, more emphasised detail and a lovely little bit of a waxy base to it as well. So there's a little bit of a shine on there now because it's got the wax base.
That's great.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Because I've added the pencil to it. So I hope that helped a little bit. Like I said, it's not the main focus of the show. However, we've got lots of tuition when it comes to this. And especially if you tap in YouTube or look on previous Look on previous Crafters TV shows, because I'm pretty sure that one of us would have covered that before. I know I have, certainly have in the past. However, we've got our lovely Connie Fong. Let's push that to one side. I'm going to bring in my box because I'm going to place my lovely Connie Fong onto... I've used one of our nesting dies for this one. And if I remember rightly... where did I... Oh, come on, Debbie. I know, I'm looking inspiration from a lovely... Oh, it's one of our nesting dies, Ben. I'm ever so sorry. I made this kit up a little while ago.
Maybe that could be a quiz for next week.
I know,
don't,
do you know,
right.
Don't give Nicola any ideas, because I swear I couldn't name a single nesting die apart from circle, stitch, stack and scallop, and all those kind of things on there as well. Producer Ben's being really harsh with me today. But oh, bless him. Oh, right, okay. Always like me. It's like you can tell he's me other half, can't you, on TV world? He's giving me some right earache in me ear. I will. Oh, he likes bossing me around because he says he doesn't normally get to do that.
He's going to be in so much trouble, isn't he?
He is. Wait till we get to that break, Ben. Now, I've got my lid. I am going to decorate my lid before I actually put this together. I'm just putting my score lines in because I forgot to do this when I was doing my, I call it a bit of prepping, but I forgot to do that little part, but it doesn't matter. It takes a couple of seconds to do it. I've gone with a box. This box will actually be, in terms of size-wise, it'll be a 5x7, but so whenever you want to make it, depends on the width. We've got lots of box making that you can do with that as well, but depending on the size, I've gone with an inch in either side. So I'm going to just decorate the front of my box, but that's the lovely thing about these. You can literally put your Connie Fong stamps onto cards, onto gift boxes. Lots of different ways that you can use these gorgeous stamps. I'm just going to add a little bit of texture just by adding this on. I'm going to put all these bits on now, Becky, while I've got the opportunity while it's laying flat. And I have got another demo that I want to try and get in. And of course, I need to show you how to re-ink. It's really important to show you how to do that re-inking. And I think it's definitely going to be well worth popping that onto there. So what I'm going to do is just add my tape pen. I'm going to add a little bit of a ribbon, like so. And then I'm going to decorate my sides. I like to do it beforehand, so I'm going to decorate all the sides before I pop my box together. So let's pop all my little pieces. I'm just measuring that up and making sure that's marked up right, like so. And then again, so. And I've used the paper pad on this one. I think it's the, do you know the Brights, the Everyday Brights that we've got, the 8x8? I think I've made that slightly bigger than I wanted it to, but it don't matter. It's fine, it'll be fine. We're just popping this all together while it's flat. It's a little bit easier when it's flat. One thing our lovely Jan taught me, do it while it's flat rather than when it's up, put together. It makes for a much easier construction and popping it all
Definitely
together.
does. At least you can sort of push down on a hard surface. Much
Yeah,
harder to
exactly.
possibly made.
So I'm just going to now pop my base together. Bit of tape pens in all four corners. Ooh. Not quite pressure. I'm
Welcome back to
I'm not
speed
used to it being
crafting.
firm. Firm. He's very firm with me, isn't he, today?
You
He's
like that,
proper
don't you,
taking me to
Debbie?
hand, isn't he? 1 minute left, please. I'll be as quick as I can, Ben. I promise I'll be as quick as I can. But do you know what? It's been a lovely show. I've really enjoyed working with you and Mia. It's been really nice. Oh, we haven't, have we? Yes, good job because we've got all day. Oh, have you been with him 2 or 3 times, Becky?
I have, yeah.
Oh, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he must be doing a good job because you keep coming back.
Of course he's doing a good job.
Yeah, of course. So I'm just going to pop my lid over my base and then just finishing it off with one of the stamps actually that's in there, which is the Happy Birthday Little Angel. And I'm just, in fact, actually, I've just popped that over the top. Let's just make sure I've got that in the right place. Wait a minute, Debbie. Wait a minute. You've put your bow in the wrong place. That's where you wanted that bit. Come on, girl. Let's just have that a little tiny fraction over and I'll pop my ribbon. Where shall we have it? Do you know, decisions? I'm like, come on, Debbie, it's not that hard.
Yes, but sometimes it is.
Do you know, that's the thing, it's about placements. There we go.
Gorgeous.
And there you are, Connie Fong, all coloured in with the classics, highlighted with a tiny little bit of colour blend as well. There you go.
Beautiful, absolutely stunning. So this is the Connie Fong collection of all the angels. So you've got your friendship angel here, you've got twinkle angel, you've got all the stamps and the dies to cut everything out here, angel prayers, then we have angel wishes, and then the last 2 are angel whispers and angel messenger. Fantastic price, £19 or $22. Take advantage of this opportunity. We're going to go to a little bit of a break. The checkout, remember, if you're going to be spending more than £40, do use that set 5 to get that £5 off, and we'll see you in a couple of moments.
What makes Crafters TV so special is you guys.
It's really special because the experts are really experts. They're really skilled at what they do, and they want to make sure that the audience also improves on their skills.
Crafters TV is so special because you've got together a really sort of key group of people and people that are very passionate about the product.
Crafters TV is so special because it's a unique community that we have with each other where we can learn and grow and communicate with each other.
Community, the family spirit, the education, everything to do with craft. We are all like-minded people who share a passion.
I love all the inspiration the demonstrators bring and all the knowledge for us out here.
What makes Crafters TV so special? 100% it's the interaction. No other crafting TV channel or show has the same interaction.
I love the community, I love chatting live, I think that's the best part. and it's gone beyond crafting because we've become friends.
It feels to me to be a really, really close relationship with our customers and viewers.
You guys make us feel like we're part of your family. I've never been on the show before, but one of my friends who I did meet from CCTV encouraged me, and I was on the craft along.
Massive team of people, and I think they've all got their role to play, and it just brings everything together. It allows us to do our job and just love it.
The people, obviously. The people not just here at Crafts Companion, but the viewers that watch us. I mean, everybody. We have this real magical essence about it.
Bye for now. Bye.
Hello everybody, welcome back. We've come to that wonderful time of the show when it's votes. I'm going to need your votes for the demo of the show. So Debbie's got all her makes ready.
Nice and easy today, Becky.
It's
nice and
not
easy.
hundreds to collect from all around the
No, just nice two nice ones to do. Starting back with the beginner, the starter kit that we did using the lovely floral stamp there and showing you how to create a few little different techniques. And then our lovely Connie Fong box there as well. So it's 1 or 2.
Fabulous.
1, 2.
Please get your votes in as soon as you possibly can. And we do also have some other items that you're going to be seeing later on today. And the first one is the magazine. Now this has been super, super popular. I haven't had a chance to have a proper look at it yet, so I haven't been able to open it up and play with all the bits and pieces in here. But these magazines, if you get stuck for an idea, and that happens to all of us, it happens to everybody, even the craft experts. Sometimes you just have a bit of a mental block and you need a little bit of inspiration. So these are absolutely wonderful for you to have. If I open up, you can see all the bits and pieces in here. So you're going to be getting lots of extra bits and pieces, lots of items to make all the different sort of projects that you're going to be finding inside here. Debbie, have you had a chance to get your hands on this?
Oh yes, I have. I've done some shows down at Hobby Maker with them. It is a fabulous, honestly, this is a fantastic kit. I don't know if you want to show the actual kit, or are we going to go into detail, Ben, or are we doing that later? Tell you what then, I'll tell you about the kit. So you've got in there, it's a really lovely kit this time. You've got papers, and can you open it up for me, Becky, so I can have a little peek? Papers. Can I just tell you about those papers and toppers? And it's right behind there. Now then, let me have a look. On the left-hand side, right-hand side.
I don't know my left and my right.
I know, I can't see back to it. It's
so say ring or watch.
Watch.
Okay.
What is the craft kit? That's a great way of communicating, Becky. It is your craft kit, and there are papers in here. Now, the Watercolour Christmas was one of our most successful Sarah Signature collections last year, and there is 18 sheets and a die cut topper sheet in there as well, all based around that beautiful collection that we brought out with Watercolour Christmas. But that's a physical copy, because what also you're getting in there, Becky, is a downloadable content. So you've got all the papers and the topper sheet. The only difference with the topper sheet is, of course, it's not die cut, so you would have to take your fussy cut scissors around it. But it's there to live forever. It was one of the most beautiful paper pads that we did last year, the Watercolour Christmas. You've got it to your fingertips in an A4 size, which is absolutely fab. Then you've got your kit, and in your kit you've got a template which creates the most amazing reindeer or snowman, and it's a box template, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more. Jan did a fabulous demonstration with it last week on the launch. You've got the Advent and Christmas stencil in there and a set of stamps. That's your craft kit covered. Oh, do you know what I forgot? Snowflake border die, one of my favourite bits of the kit. That is an amazing value and well worth $12.99 on its own. Yeah. Let alone the magazine. And the magazine's got 71 projects, and not just cards. Home decor, sewing in there as well, soft crafts, there's a little bit of soft craft section in there. There is a ton of inspiration. Meet the scenes, behind the scenes, meet the team, loads and loads of things, quizzes as well. It's an absolutely fabulous magazine, and it's absolutely, I know Sean Connery then, magazine, absolutely jam-packed full of inspiration. I'm going to go into much more detail later on in Second Chance Sunday for those of you that may have missed out earlier on in the week. It is a fabulous magazine, and it is exactly what it's saying on the tin. It's a crafter's inspiration.
Fabulous. great price, $12.99 or $19.95. Platinum price is £10.39 or $15.96. Now we do also have some of these storage boxes. These ones, we had lots of people asking whether we could do them. You know, obviously you could store your papers in here and your card, but without all of the innards, because I didn't need all of the different dividers that you get in there. So we've got these available without those. It can be quite annoying having all those little bits and pieces of plastic if you don't actually need them, all of those dividers. So you can store everything like this. Or you can have, this is great for storing paper, fabric, all those kinds of things where you don't actually need those dividers. The price for this is $7.99 or $12.99. Now, if you do want these with those dividers in there, they are available. You just have to look for those on the website. Do remember, £40 if you're going to be spending today. Use the code SEPT5 and you'll get that £5 voucher off. Now, we do have the starter kit on the show, which has been really, really popular. We've got this is what you're going to be getting in the collection here. So you're going to get 2 packs of pens, 12 pen packs, 12 pens in each pack. So you get 24 in total. You've got the nature pack and you've also got the floral. You're going to be getting one of the alcohol-proof ink pads. You'll be getting 2 stamps and you'll be getting the Nina card, which is the card that you not must use, but you should use to get the best results when you're using these alcohol markers. £35, $45, £28, $36. Now, Debbie, you're going to be doing a demonstration using this again, aren't you, this collection?
No. Re-inking.
Re-inking. Oh, yes, of course.
It's okay. I just wanted to show you, because I've talked about it practically all the way through, show that it's a system that you're buying into. And it is. It's a re-inkable pen. In terms of, it's a pen that's going to last you forever. So I'm going to show you how to do it. Now, I did say that you do get in your barrel quite a little bit of ink in here. And I said quite a bit. That's a big barrel. If you take off the top tips there, that's a big barrel that's got a lot of potential to last you a long time. What I don't want you to do is throw that away when it's dried up. Do you know that I showed you earlier about that other one? But I said that's dried up. It's not dried up, it's just run out of ink. It needs re-inking. So I'm leaving it to one side because I need to do that later. But I just haven't got that colour with me, Becky, so I'm not going to re-ink it with a different colour. So this one that I've pulled out of our tray is the purple, and it's the PL3. Now, each pen has its own individual recognition... wait a minute. Individual label, PL3. That's where I'm going with it. I'm trying to think of the right word then, but we're all coming out wrong, so I'm just going to stick with that. And that means that you've got a bottle that is full of ink, and it's on this little pipette. So this little pipette just drops. I'll just literally squeeze out the ink there. There we go. I've got a nice clean pipette now. But it has got, oh, she says, just dropping a little bit. Go onto the website on Spectrum Yupo paper. Just telling you, got some beautiful techniques that you can do with it. But what it is the right ink to go inside this pen. Now, the bit that you're going to do is the chisel end. That's the bit that you're going to take out. Now, you can do it with your fingers if you want to do it with your fingers, or you can take a pair of tweezers. I'm not going to lie, I'm not a tweezer lover, but on the purposes of this one, I'll just show you. What you're going to do is just prise it gently. And I'll finish off just by using my finger there, just to take it out. And I'm going to show you what it looks like. Because I don't know if you can still get the replacement nibs. We used to be able to get them, but that's what it looks like. That's your nib for your, and again, just a little inky finger there. But it now leaves you a barrel to get your ink in, and the pipette fits in there absolutely perfectly. So, squeeze a bit of the ink up. I'm going to go and I'm going to push my pipette into the barrel. And I'm just going to fill that up. Now, you can drop a few bits in there. I think, well, this one's a little bit thirsty. Don't know why, but we might have been using purple quite a bit. Another colour. But like I said, it is a system that you literally... It's got...
Can you turn that chisel nib around the other way? So, you know, sometimes after using a pen, the nibs sort of splay out a little bit, don't they? Can you turn that round the other way?
No, this nib goes in one way only.
Right, okay.
Because it's a chisel nib. And I don't know if you can see, Charlotte, can you see that closely? You've got this chisel nib part here and then the thinner part. And that's the bit then that you're going to put back in. So I've filled up enough in there. And I'm just going to put that in. I'm going to pick my fingers up again because I don't mind getting inky fingers. But I'm just going to push that down. And that is it.
That's it.
Let me just hold that there. Sorry, Charlotte. It's because I've got a dark dress on, so you couldn't see it. But that is how you pop that in. Make sure that that chisel nib is clicked into place. I noticed the pen the other day when I was using it that the nib's a little bit out there, so I think someone's trying to pull it out, not push it back in right. And then literally let it settle, because obviously the ink's now in here, so lay it down flat for a little, just a few minutes for it to go, and then when it does come, and it will come through, I perhaps could have got away with a little bit more actually, to be fair, in there. It will come through, but it just needs time to settle and get in there and soak back up into the nib. But that is how you re-ink a classic pen with, wait a minute, Becky, wait a minute, screw that back on, with your re-inker bottle. So you've got your pen, you've got your re-inker, and that now is a system that you've bought into. They're about $4.99, producer Ben. I'm not sure. They used to be. They might have gone up slightly, but they are a fantastic. There's a lot of ink in there. In fact, in total, there's 30 mils, one fluid ounce in there. Oh, they've gone up a little bit. Yeah, I think it's with rising costs. I know the pens went up slightly. So $5.99 for a re-inker bottle that you can actually use with Yupo paper as well, and some lovely techniques that you can do for some inky backgrounds. But the perfect to keep your pen going forever and not throwing in the bin and buying any more. So literally, that's how you do that little bit together. So there you go, Becky. I think I've covered all my bases. I think I've talked to you about alcohol colouring, building up with one colour, using a darker grey underneath to change the colour, to change the tone. I've shown you how to do a little bit of blending. I've shown you how to do other things that you can do with it and take it into other colouring mediums, not just for colouring, but other things that you can colour. Showing you how to re-ink. I think I've done quite a little bit there for you.
I have got a question for you.
Oh, go on then. Oh, I knew you'd throw me a curveball at the end.
From Eve, I've got some Spectrum Noir pens that possibly older with round tops, black pen, no name, just GB5 as the label. Trying to arrange my pens, Classique, Illustrator, Aqua, and the GBs I have are Illustrators grey pen. Are they the same?
Illustrators are not the same as Classique. In terms, it's an alcohol pen, and it is. If you think about it, it's from the Spectrum family. So the GB3 and a Classique will be the same as an Illustrator in terms of the ink. However, the ones that you talk about, the rounded ones, because they was the original. They were the original Spectrum Noir, not Classiques. I can't remember what we called them actually. What are they called, Classiques? Do you know, it feels that long ago. But they were the original pens. They've moved forward. What happened is that Leanne, she works very closely with the manufacturers, and what she's just done is developed and designed a better, more usable, more longevity out of your pen than the original ones were. So that is the difference that you've got there. So that rounded top, I know exactly what you mean, because I had them myself when I first switched over before I came to work for Crafters. I first had those pens because I were gifted quite a few from the auntie, bless her, God rest her soul. But yeah, so I know what you mean. They are the original pens. They've moved forward. It's like with anything, technology moves forward. You know, things we try and work on and bring you the best pen to the market. So this is the newer model, shall we call it? Shall we call it the newer model? That's the older model. But in terms of sorting it out, they will be the same colours. I think it might be just slightly different from the originals because Leanne worked really closely to bring the best pen to the market. And I know she wasn't 110% happy with the original one, shall we say? But she's absolutely worked her little legs off to bring the best. Phrase a word there, little legs off to bring the best to the market. This is the current edition, and it is a permanent pen, one that you're not going to throw away at all like that. So I hope that answered that question.
Thank you. Thanks very much for that. And we have a result for demo of the show.
Oh, yes.
Which one do you think won?
No idea, because I love them both. I love Connie Fong. I'm not going to tell fibs. I love Connie Fong. However, the starter kit one is just as beautiful because it wasn't a lot of colouring to do, but really nice techniques.
They're both beautiful, but actually it was number 2.
So Connie Fong won in the end.
Thank you for everybody that voted. Later on today, we're going to have masterclass, and we've got Second Chance Sunday at 6 o'clock. But masterclass is all going to be about vintage butterflies, isn't it?
I am so excited. I never thought I'd get to work with them again. I launched them.
Yeah.
And I absolutely adore the vintage butterfly. So I've got quite a few demos to try and get through. And it's all about that gorgeous collection. And for those that missed out, because obviously we always have new people watching, new people joining us. We had loads of new people join us yesterday on Crafters TV, which was lovely. People commenting. So we know that some people may not have had the opportunity to get hold of that collection. For those who have, sit back and watch and get some inspiration. But for those who haven't, we've got opportunity for you to get hold of certain elements in that original lineup that we brought to you in terms of the most beautiful collection, the most beautiful papers and vellums. Absolutely. Cannot wait for 2 o'clock. Is it 2 o'clock already, Becky?
It's going to come round quite quickly, isn't it? I've another opportunity to have a quick sandwich and a cup and cake, because Ben's going out to buy us cake. I don't think he does have that much to do. I think, you know, he's got lots of time to find some cake for us. You're going to feel really guilty if you don't buy cake, Ben. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, have a lovely lunchtime. We will see you back at 2 o'clock. Make sure that you stay tuned, and do remember, if you are going to buy anything today, or you're going to spend more than £40, use that code SEPT5 to get £5 off, and share it with your friends. Let your friends know that deal is on. Definitely worth having a look to see what's available on the website. We will see you in an hour's time.